Hello, everyone. I'm Beth Vosmeier with Network and Action Northwest, and I'm here today with our newest member, Charlie. Hey, Charlie, how you doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Charlie, tell us what you do.
I am a headshot photographer and I work with a lot of business people. It's really important that they have a great headshot and professional presence for social media and their websites. I also work with some performers, so opera singers, actors, musicians. And I also work with a lot of different organizations and companies, so software companies, medical practices, where I will actually take my studio to their location and create professional, consistent headshots for everyone on their team.
Wow, that's cool. That could be a huge differentiator. Instead of everyone having a quick iPhone snapshot, they actually have a professional setup. Lighting is so important in your industry, right?
Right. It makes a huge difference to have that professional presence as opposed to a candid or a selfie, where they might be good photos of you. They're not necessarily good photos for business and good photos for you to find a new employment opportunity. And I always tell people there's a couple of different advantages to a professional headshot. The most important is you stand out from everybody else on LinkedIn or anywhere else because hardly anybody's using a professional headshot. So it gives you that one little extra bit of credibility, grabs someone's attention, and you're more likely to get a response from the people you're looking for.
Absolutely perfect. I couldn't agree more. Tell us how long you've been in this industry.
I started working professionally in 1978 when I was a teen, and I was doing a lot of music photography, a lot of concerts. So whether it was a small club or Madison Square Garden, anything in between, photographing rock, jazz. But as time went on, my business just kind of evolved. Doing a lot of commercial photography, working a lot with special needs people, diversity and inclusion initiatives for different companies. And as time's gone on, for the past 18 months or so, I've mainly been doing headshot photography.
Very cool. Do you have a success story you'd like to share with us today?
Well, I think a good success story is actually kind of outside a lot of the business part of my photography. When my son was born, he was diagnosed with autism, and I wanted to do something to try to promote autism awareness. So I started a small personal project where I created images of, it was mostly kids on the autism spectrum, and had their families just write a story about what it was like to live with autism. Good, bad, I just wanted the straight truth. And I had a small exhibit of these portraits, which I printed 24 by 30 and had their stories printed. And I thought it would just be a one-time thing. And I started to get phone calls from people all around the area, Seattle area here, who wanted to be part of the project. And then I started getting press coverage. I was on all the television stations around here. I started getting industry coverage. And I turned it into a nonprofit organization. And so I had about 250 photographers from around the country going out into their community, creating these images, gathering all these stories. We had a huge online gallery of about 500 different portraits and stories and exhibits all around the country. And the success story with that is I would get emails from people perhaps who just had a child diagnosed with autism. And, they were very, obviously it's an upsetting thing to hear. You don't know what to expect. And now we get emails from people who are looking for resources online and would stumble upon the site. And they would tell me that, now they felt a little bit of hope. Things weren't as bad as they thought they were going to be. Yes, they're going to have challenges, but, it wasn't just a lifetime sentence, that, there was a lot of potential for their child, and it just made them feel better about the whole experience. So that to me has been my biggest success story in the business.
I think that's fantastic. It shows that you have a heart, you have compassion, and you're there for people. I mean, everyone just wants to see a little bit of their life in someone else's life. I'm very touched by that. I thank you for sharing that.
Sure
So
thing.
tell us one major differentiator in your headshot, because I heard you tell me a story about a how you make someone feel. Like I jokingly put in my head, Charlie gives you that rock star appeal in a professional manner. That's what I keep telling myself when I think about your photos.
Well, for me, it's really important that the person you're photographing feels comfortable and is prepared, because that's really what it's all about. You know, when someone is told, okay, come on in, you have a headshot appointment, I'll see you there, and it's left at that, they have a lot of questions going on in their mind. How do I prepare? What should I wear? Am I going to wear too much makeup, too little makeup? What should my hair be like? And they come in and they feel awkward. They don't know what to do. So I try to make this a very client-centric, high-end experience. So from the beginning, they are given all the information they need, kind of like a guide that I send to people about all those preparation tips. I will also do a Zoom meeting with them if they have any questions. That way we get to know each other a little bit before they come into the studio. If they want a professional makeup artist, I work with several. I can have them come in and just, which I recommend to everyone, but it's not necessary. But it just makes sure that their makeup is just right and done the right way for a headshot. The whole experience is collaborative. I want to make sure that as we're going along, they're going to see the photos as they're coming up, and we can make changes, and we can make adjustments. They can tell me, I don't like this side of my face, I'd rather have this done. I can look at it technically and give them some suggestions. I also do expression coaching. I've done a lot of studying about, what it means when your eyes are doing a certain thing, or your mouth, or what a head tilt means, as opposed to having your head straight on. So we go through all of those. We go through all of those different ways of presenting yourself on camera, and then right when we're done, I go through and I help them select the headshots that they want. And during the whole process, I'm asking them about their business, what their goals are with the headshots, where they want to go. So it's not just a matter, excuse me, of picking out a good looking headshot. I mean, of course, we want it to be good looking, but it also has to be effective and reach their target market. So I professionally guide them through that selection process. And however images they select, some people just select one, some people select 10 or 15. Once we've made those selections, I put them through the retouching process. I do my work, I send them to a retoucher, they do their work, and then I put my finishing touches on them and I deliver them. So the whole thing is high contact, taking very good care of my clients and making sure they're having a great experience.
I love that. I mean, I cannot tell you how many headshots I've been through in my professional career, and some are like line up, snap. Some others are like, and you never see them and they're delivered. So I love that consultative approach. I really think that's a differentiator that someone really needs in this day and age, right? Because we're such a visual place in the world.
Right.
So,
and especially if people, like I mentioned earlier, if they're looking for a new opportunity or looking for clients, our visual sense is the most powerful when it comes to first impression. I mean, I know it sounds trite, but you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And if you're not making the most positive first impression, it takes work to make that impression. So it's important to make the best first impression possible.
I agree. Couldn't agree with you more. Tell us how to get a hold of you.
So to get a hold of me, you can just email me, charlie@ccheadshots.com. You can go to my website, ccheadshots.com, or you can call me at 425-501-9725.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you sharing with us today, and I look forward to seeing more beautiful pictures from you.
Great. Thanks for talking.